Yo, shout out to everybody that came back and is listening to us. And that was a stupid intro. I came too hot. Hot.
Keep this.
Yeah, but don't cut it out. Whatever. Look,
hi guys.
Look, they need to know. Life is about.
Excited.
Sometimes you get excited for stuff and you just look stupid.
That's a true New Yorker. I'm sorry, but like, what you so excited for?
Yeah, look.
Sorry.
Sometimes you start something, you have good energy for it, and then in hindsight you realize you look stupid.
Yeah,
and that's what this is about.
Yep.
Welcome back, episode volume 34, December 4th. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. On this episode, we break down jobs. We have some funny stories from Marty Marr and APM.
Marty Marr.
The whole gang gets into it. Big announcement for the show for the rest of the year. Well, I think we announced that right up top. Nothing crazy. We're just gonna have some. You'll hear it in the episode. Woo! I don't want y'all to hear it here and then tune out. If you want to see me on the road, I still got a couple dates left for the rest of the year. I'm in Louisville.
Kentucky?
No, I was in Louisville last week. I'm in Toronto this weekend, the 8th and the 9th. I'll be in Miami. I'm headlining in Miami at the Improv the 27th and the 28th. Miami, make sure y'all get their tickets. I think that's going to fill up. And then starting next year, I'm back on the road starting January 11th. I'm in Denver. I'm in Austin on the 19th and in Arizona on the 25th to the 28th.
Shout
Me
out.
and Lara Live for all the dates. Thank y'all for listening. Like, subscribe, share our clips. Make sure the podcast keeps growing. We love y'all, adulterers.
Que lo que tú dices? Ah!
If you misaligned that screen ever, it would really fuck him up.
Does it?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He matches the way.
Are we good? Keep this in.
Hey.
No erasers.
None.
Welcome back to Adulthood, volume 34.
Hi guys.
This is Monday, December 4th.
Happy birthday, Jay-Z.
This volume is coming out. Oh yeah, that's right. That's Jay-Z's birthday.
That's right.
Is the museum still going?
I think so.
I didn't get a chance to go to the museum.
I think so. I think it's running to the end of December.
I wanted to go. Women love museums.
Oh yeah.
What is it about women in museums that makes them horny?
I think it's the artwork.
Is it the art? Marty, what is it?
Deco,
you love a
Deco
museum.
Roman. What is it? Art Deco. You a big museumer?
You definitely
Yeah.
like museums.
Why do you say it like that?
You look so
like
cultured.
it's an insult.
Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah, I know. You give me that vibe.
Yeah, I do like museums.
Women love museums.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
That's definitely a thing.
They're-
Look, some of the stuff, like people act like some of the stuff I say is inflammatory. Is that the right word? That's a word, right?
That's a word. Yeah.
Yeah, inflammatory, but a lot of it is true. No one debates it. Everyone is just like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that.
I think it's your tone. You
Yeah.
have a very New York
Like
tone.
I said Arab. People didn't like that. Look, you look at me now weird too, even though it's just a word.
If you've ever been to the corner store, like, or if you've in certain
The
neighborhoods, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Akis.
out. Shout out Ak.
Yeah. That's what we call them in the hood. You would never, right? We call Arab Ak. Yeah.
Have you ever had a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper,
Yeah.
ketchup?
Yeah. No, Marty,
No.
she gets that from Starbucks.
Do they have vegan ones? Vegan bacon, egg, and cheese?
You're vegan?
No, I'm vegetarian, but I wouldn't eat. First of all, I wouldn't put ketchup on it.
Yeah. I don't need
Don't
ketchup.
look at me like that.
What?
It's gross.
Yeah, I don't
Salt,
need
pepper,
ketchup.
How you don't eat
What?
ketchup?
I'm not a sauce guy. I'm not a big condiment guy.
Hold on. So no mayo ketchup?
No, I don't eat mayo. Mayo is one of my biggest enemies.
What kind of Dominican are you?
Yeah, this is actually, I think I talked about this. I have a phobia with white sauces.
Really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't eat no white sauce. Mayo, blue cheese, ranch, anything white, I can't eat.
How do you
sauce.
eat your wings?
Bear, raw dog,
Wow. Okay.
whatever the rub is, and that's it.
That's it. All
no
right.
salt, no extra additives.
Okay. All right.
By the way, Marty, I gotta say, I was in where was I this weekend? I was in Tampa, and I had a gentle lady come up to me. I believe her name. What? That's what I call her.
Shout out to the gentle
A
lady.
gentle lady came up to me, and I believe her name was Ashley. Adulterer, big fan of the pod.
What's up, Ash?
From Alaska.
Oh.
Wow.
One of your people, one of your tribesmen. And she was saying hello. She said, say hello to Marty. She's from Alaska.
Is there a special way that, Alaskans say hello? Is there a special hello?
No.
No, because in New York,
Yeah, that's
was
true.
good. Like, is there a special kind of vernacular?
I think down south they say what it do.
What up? What it do? Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, though?
What up though?
No, what up, though is actually Detroit. Shout out to anybody
Oh,
from
is that?
Detroit.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the D.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to disappoint both of you. No, there's not.
No?
There's
It's
not.
all right.
There's
Oh,
just
maybe-
high and a slight Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Because it's close, right?
Yeah.
You know what I love about the adulterers?
Talk to
When they
me.
come up to me after shows, like they'll almost whisper to me, like we'll do the thing, and then I'll do pictures at the end, and they'll come up to me, we'll take a picture, and just so you know, listen to the pod.
Shout out.
I'm like, keep that down. Don't let nobody.
Don't let nobody.
Yeah, don't let nobody hear that.
It's
You
a
can
secret
lose.
society.
You can lose your job.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta, if your boss catches you listening to this podcast, you got to put it away and be like, oh,
like,
never mind.
Quickly.
Never mind.
You know what's funny? You bring that up. Shout out. So this was the first time that I got recognized from the pod. I was DJing at Panda Uptown. Big shout out to Panda and the security
Panda
guard.
Express.
Yeah, the security guard was just like, yo, tell Ian, yo, you wild funny. That's what he calls you. Ian, not Ian. But he was just like, yo, tell Ian he mad funny. You got to post whenever you performing in New York because his mom's in town. They love comedy. She loves comedy. So shout out to me basically being the plug for you.
I appreciate that. As the pod grows, people come up to. And the thing about the podcast listeners is, once you get the momentum going, like we're in volume 34, we're in our 30s, baby. Once you get that momentum going, people need it.
This is the dream year.
Yeah, people need it.
Yeah.
It's like a drug to them.
That's right.
But volume 34, it's December, man.
That's crazy.
It's December. We've already powered through the fall. Thanksgiving done passed.
Yep.
Some of y'all probably ate too much.
They still full.
I think I'm gonna start a diet.
What kind of diet?
I don't know. What's the new thing people are doing?
I think there's the air diet where you basically just breathe for a week.
Yeah.
You got to drink water with that, but every other day.
Somebody told me about the water diet. Like you don't eat food for a week. You just drink water and it'll add like 10 years or 10 hours to your life. One of those.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay. All right.
But I'm considering that. Cause food is like, you don't really need it. I know like they push that, but I've learned like once you get over like food is like when you know how if you meet somebody and they're like, oh, I've been celibate for 6 months.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do you do it? Because you're sexually active.
Yeah.
And you're having sex, once every 3 weeks like a normal person.
Uh-huh.
But they're fine with it because it's like once you get over the hump of not having sex or not eating, you don't need it. So like with food, you'll be starving, but if you could push through that with, let's say, water, then, I mean, don't take this as medical advice. We're not technically doctors.
Please. We got the in the front, right? The disclaimer.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, please don't. But I think food is like that where once you get over being hungry, you'll be fine.
I'm not gonna lie, I confused the water diet with the water challenge. There's a new thing called the water challenge.
What's the water challenge?
It's some Tyler, she has a song.
Oh,
Baby,
Tyler.
say-
Yeah, she's like South African.
Yeah.
She did the Tonight Show a couple days after me.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, because you were on the Tonight Show, right?
Yeah,
Jimmy Fallon?
3 times.
Wasn't it your third time?
Yes.
Trace?
Yes. And
Alright.
I kind of wanted to do, I didn't know, you know what's crazy?
Didn't Bad Bunny follow you, but he was like a couple of days afterwards?
Everybody's doing the Tonight Show now.
That's
After
like,
I did it, everyone's doing it.
You're setting trends out here. That's crazy. All right.
But I thought Beyonce sang that song.
Really?
The
Wow.
water. I thought that was Beyonce.
That's a big
Like-
compliment.
Like this whole time, I thought it was Beyonce. Then I found out it's like this 20-year-old girl from South Africa.
Yeah, shout out Tyler. Yeah, but maybe it's a double. It's like you do the water challenge.
Oh,
and
is
then-
that where you pour water on your ass in the club and twerk?
Is that what it is?
I think that's the water challenge.
That's the challenge?
Somebody was telling me that. You just pour water on your ass and twerk like on a boat or like in your office.
Well, given that a lot of women, and I'm just being an observer, they go out in swimsuits anyway. It's just like you're already prepared for it. It's half the battle.
Yeah,
Right?
pour. Yeah, I just don't like the mess it makes. Nobody wants to be stepping on water.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose an ACL because of the water challenge. Like, what?
Yeah. This weekend, I was in Tampa. I was doing shows.
out.
Shout out to everyone that came out, Tampa Side Splitters. This has to be the most expensive plane ticket. Take a guess, Marty. How much you think I paid for a round trip ticket to Tampa from New York City to Tampa? Give me a guess.
I feel like if you paid more, $700.
Middle seat, 26th row. Give me a guess.
It should be $200. Like it should be. But because you're making that face at me, $700 or $800?
Okay, I'll tell you. $1,100. $1,100 for a middle seat, row 26,
Why?
New York to Tampa.
Did you buy it the same day?
No, I bought it like 2 weeks before because Delta has a hold on me. I'm too loyal. That's my problem. I'm too loyal. I'm a good guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we have any adulterers out there who are employees for Delta Enterprises, please, this is ridiculous.
$1,100.
We know you laugh. We want you to laugh. We got to get some kind of like frequent flyer mileage or something. The man's on there every week.
I'm trying to get priority.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to get to platinum.
The platinum status,
and
right?
I'm only a little bit away, but then you got to spend all this money. But I'm like, damn, for $1,100, that's like first class, right? That should be first class.
Yeah.
At least business, right?
Yeah,
At
not
least
row
business.
26 middle seat
No.
next to a fat sleeping man.
You should fly Alaska.
Alaskan Air.
Yeah.
They only fly to Seattle, and I think that
No, they fly everywhere. I used to take them.
they don't fly everywhere.
Aren't they
They
like
do
like
fly.
partners?
They fly everywhere in the country.
They're Northwest based.
But aren't they like partners with like Frontier and what's the other one?
No,
I assume it's weird in there.
they're partners with all of the big European airlines and all of the larger Asian airlines.
Whoa.
But
You don't wanna offend anybody.
They fly everywhere, and they have much better frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, but listen, Alaska Air is not taking me to Tampa.
Tampa.
Yes, it is. I flew
From-
to Tampa
From New York?
Yeah. And
Really?
from Alaska. I'd fly it every single time I went to school. I would fly Alaska.
But what's like
But were you flying from New York?
Yes.
what's the Greyhound of the airlines?
Alaska Air.
No, the other
Frontier.
one.
Oh, Frontier.
The other
Frontier.
one.
Spirit?
Spirit. Ain't it like Spirit? Aren't they partners?
Yes.
No, it's like way like their partners are like British Airlines.
Oh.
Alaska Air is Spirit's cheap sister.
Yeah,
No,
like
it's
aren't they
not.
cousins?
It's literally so nice.
It's what people who are
All right.
They
people
give
who can't afford Spirit
They give
fly.
you like milk bar cookies, and it's like really
Every
nice.
airline does
Wait,
that.
do you get to select your seat, or is it like Spirit where you show up and
I
it's first
can't do
come
a free
first
fall.
serve?
I need
No,
assigned
can't.
seats.
I
I'm an
can't.
assigned seat
Yeah.
guy.
It's an assigned seat thing.
Is
and
it?
it's,
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an assigned seat thing, and it's like, and you only need like 12,000 miles to get a free flight. Like I don't know what it is on the other.
I have a
app.
lot of miles. I actually have like over 100,000 miles.
Yeah, like
I don't
it's,
use them. I just store them.
It's much
Smart.
easier to
Yeah.
get the like priority whatever.
Yeah.
Like I have the priority thing. Just
But I assume like priority on Alaska Air is like
Alaska Air is so
Greyhound
nice. No, it's
level.
literally so nice. And like, yeah, once you take it above the Arctic Circle, it gets a little sketch, I'm not gonna lie. But like below is really nice.
Big shout
you
out
heard
to
it here first, everybody.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
fly Alaska Air.
And big shout out to
from
everybody
Marty's.
that's listening on the audio who can't see, but Marty is a full-time like New Yorker because she's clapping like Alaska Air is it.
Shout out
Yeah,
to,
there you go.
Everybody,
Shout
but,
out to Brooklyn.
yeah, man. I've spent this year. I think I've spent like $30,000 on flights.
So the promoters, I thought that was like their ticket, their bag. What 30? Huh? What?
Yeah, you get reimbursed.
Okay.
You show them and you get reimbursed, so you could keep the points and you could keep all that stuff.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Is that more or less money than it would be if you just like paid for all of the extra priority things on whatever the cheapest airline is? Like you just
No, I mean Delta just charges you more. Like their whole thing is like we charge more, we're better. That's it. Like you don't want just pay less, go wherever. But
Okay.
we're better, we charge more.
I have a question.
Yeah.
About how far away are we from like the private jet status? Just so I get a ballpark.
I think a couple more 100,000 listeners,
Okay.
and I think we'll be right there.
All right. I'm and this is specifically for selfish reasons only. Like,
This is a groundswell, so
Okay.
it takes
All right.
time, but
All right.
I think we're building, right? We're building.
we're
We're
there.
growing, right?
We're
This isn't done.
100,000.
This isn't done at the end of the year, right?
All right.
All right.
All right. Just ballparking.
By the way, to the adulterers, I want to give y'all a heads up. I know this is December 4th, but even though we've done 34 volumes, just us, just the gang, APM, Johan, and Marty, but for the holidays, we want to bring in some holiday guests.
Woo.
So starting next week, we want to have some guests in. We're going to bring some people we think you guys will enjoy. They're going to come here and help us break down
Can't wait.
adulting. We'll probably argue, me and all of them.
Sounds about right.
But it'll be good. I hope you guys enjoy. So tune in now and tune in next week so you can hear who the adulterers, who's going to be our guest. Like, because I know people are thinking like, these guys don't need guests. They just know the things. Like, who you going to bring? But we're going to bring what we think are experts in our opinion.
That's right. That's
And,
right. That's
will
very
they
true.
be qualified? Absolutely not. So if you're expecting any degrees or anybody with any type of experience and what they're talking about, this is not the podcast.
Not
for
up
you.
in here.
Yeah, not up in here.
Not up in here.
But tune in next week to see who our first guest is, and we're gonna have guests for the rest of the year up until New Year's Day, right, Marty? Up until the first.
Yeah. So next week will be a guest, and the 18th will be a guest, and then
Don't tell them.
Okay.
And then we'll have a guest on New Year's.
Woo!
Yeah. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add. What do? We normally do an hour on this, but for for our holiday guest episode, we're gonna try to do at least 90 minutes, get a real conversation flowing. You know,
Ian Kringle,
let us spread our wings. That's how we give back to the community.
Chris Lara.
We got merch coming out. Shout out to the Adulthoods gang, the adulterers.
Can you zoom in, yo?
Great
Yo,
for
Ski.
Christmas. Great gift for Christmas for your family, for whoever. Now, where could you buy this? You can't.
You can't. And that's Yo-Yo with a J. International.
How was your weekend, man?
My weekend was great. You know, I was at Taj. Big shout out to everybody that pulled up to Taj, was in there turning up. It's so funny because, you know, a lot of people would hit me up and be like, damn, I didn't know you was that lit. I'm just like, really?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very surprised.
No, because people see you and they're like, look at this guy. What's his deal?
He's tall,
What is he,
dark,
6
handsome,
feet,
with a-
and, you know,
with a
all
gap tooth.
serious.
God must have gave it to him to stay humble.
Right. But then they see you at a party and you're like dancing and doing the worm.
on the stages.
Yeah.
And I've done the worm plenty of times.
Yeah, so it's like
crazy.
I could see how that would be jarring.
And
for
then
somebody.
I used to it. It's like the extremes.
Yeah.
And then don't let some good tequila get involved.
Do you feel like the holiday parties, like, is it turn up holiday season yet in the clubs?
Ooh, you bring up a very good topic. I think this might have to be a topic for another episode. But yeah, it's definitely turn up time. It's definitely people coming back into town. You know, especially the holidays. You know,
I mean, for the rest of the month, that's what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be crazy.
From the week of Thanksgiving to the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's out of towners that came back to New York with something to prove.
And they're here to rage.
Yeah, they got
And
something to prove.
It's also, you know, because offices are back open or people are flying if you've been working remote. Like there's, you know, not in-person holiday parties. I think we might have to do a special for that because, you know, we got to give some guidance on that.
For sure.
You know, just because it's open
the company
bar,
party.
Oh my God, yeah.
The company party. Maybe we'll do that next week.
I think so because just
with our
because
guests.
it's open bar doesn't mean that you have to just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to risk everything.
Yeah. What did you say?
I was saying you're coming to this one, right?
Absolutely. I'm dressing as...
When is the holiday party? December
6th.
So it's in 2 days from now.
Yeah.
2 days from when this episode comes
Maybe.
out.
But yeah, it was great. I was turned up. Big shout out to who was it? DJ Cass One was on the set. Big shout out to DJ High Def. He was on the set also. Big shout out to me, Big Ultra Mania. Shout out Frankie Banks. But I also, you know, being in nightlife, being in that environment, and this might pertain to you because it's a function of, you know, your job. But what do you think about platonic friendships with the opposite sex where they are either enhanced by a doctor or naturally?
What do you mean? Say that again.
If your friend your homegirl got the cannon, she got the big ass, and it's just like, you know, how do you navigate that? Because a lot of my homegirls, I just realized it's just like, oh, okay, wait, hold on, where did that come from? And you want to acknowledge it because they're obviously dressed in a way for it to be acknowledged.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's still very platonic. It's like, I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
You know, if I can help it, I try not to be friends with women with fat asses.
Okay.
If it's sometimes it's out of your control. Right?
Okay.
Sometimes you're just out, you know, you're at Panera Bread, you get in a soup, girl with a fat ass wants to be your friend. What are you gonna do? Say no?
That's what I'm gonna say. It's a function of you, right?
But if I can help it, I try to steer away from them.
Okay.
Because I tend to find big booty women, they bring problems. And it's not their fault. But they just
it's an occupational hazard.
Yeah,
it just comes with it.
It's like men who are in the streets.
Yeah.
Like they just you could be
always-
out and somebody starts shooting and you're
Yeah.
like, why? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, the girl had the fat ass.
Well,
So-
well, in actuality, that's what happens, and it might not be gunshots, but it might be like, hey, I'm gonna ask you for your number or your Instagram. So there's shots all around. You're right.
Yeah. So shout out to all the big booty women.
Big shout out to all the big
that
booty
listen
women.
to the pod.
Yeah. Big shout out to all the platonic big booty women.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's tough because it's like it's your friend, right? But then it's like a big butt. So it's like if your friend gets up and goes to the bathroom, are you looking at her butt?
That's a very good question.
That's probably not acceptable.
This is why
right?
I'm bringing it here. But then at the same time too, it's like if if we got on a suit and your friend says, "Hey, you look nice. You have a suit on." How do I reciprocate that? You know?
I think definitely
be complimentary.
I think definitely the alternative to a man in a suit is probably a woman with a big butt. I would say those two things are probably the same thing. But you know what I think? I think part of adulting and being adults is being able to have. So I'm gonna walk this back. Being able to have an attractive friend who you can be like, hey, you're attractive, but there's nothing here.
There's nothing here.
Like I'm not trying to hook up with you. We're done.
But the reason I bring this up is because, again, I'm a DJ, right? And a big shout out
DJ
to all the
8 p.m.
ladies. Oh, that's me. And, you know, a lot of the music now is, that's my best friend, and smack your best friend on the ass, and the ski yee, and I'm looking for the hoes and all of that. But like they transform. And then it's just like, oh, girl, she's twerking. And then the girls, they just start smacking on each other. It's just like, that's not fair. Like, what if I like Sexy Red and I want to smack, I want to join, but I can't?
You talking about smacking your friend in the butt?
No. I'm saying, like, if I wanted to, I can't because I don't have that privilege.
And also, I think the perception, if you do that in public, the perception is going to be that you're the gay friend. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the gay friend
can
that smack ass and grab boobs.
Yes.
I think they're allowed.
Yes.
I haven't researched this, but I think that's a fair statement. They're allowed to do it, but I think straight can't do it.
No.
I think
I think you're right.
But I think it's nice I think that's a mark of like an adult man is having, and look, I use the term friend loosely, right? Because if you're beautiful and you have a fat ass, you can't be coming over my house to watch the game Sunday. Let's be honest.
Definitely not.
But if we're out in the street and maybe we'll go grab a cup of coffee, we'll go to Chipotle, get a mark of an adult man is having some friends who are platonic and there's no section. When you're young, it's tough. When you're young, the friends are hooking up.
Yeah.
If you're in your 20s and you telling your man it's your friend, you've had sex. Let's be honest. 90% of the time, you've had sex 100% of the time.
100% of the time. I was right there with you.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But that's the part of becoming like an adult where you're like, oh, maybe we can just be friends and we don't need to have sex. That's like an adult thing.
That's high level adultery.
Yeah.
All right.
Which brings us to today's topic, man.
Segway kings.
Because part of this thing is, you know, we like to talk about what's going on with us, but then we like to steer people in the right direction.
That's what we do. We're like captains.
I had a couple of my friends that turned 30 recently too. Shout out to the 30 gang.
Yeah, big shout out to the 30 gang.
Marty, I can't wait till you turn 30.
To Charlene, happy birthday.
Gotta be nice. 30's good. People be afraid still. I'm like, don't be.
Run into it.
No, you got to take charge. Own it, you know? Don't be 30 trying to be 22. You're not 22 anymore.
It doesn't look good on you.
No. Marty, you're 22, right?
No.
But part of growing up is you got to get a job.
You have to get a job.
A big boy job.
Yeah.
Big girl job. That's what they call it. You ever heard that saying?
A big girl job?
Yeah.
Yes.
A big girl job. A big boy job.
Especially at this big age, right?
Yeah.
That's another popular one.
Which means an adult job, right? Something with benefits.
Benefits?
Maybe a pension.
Ooh, 401k.
Yeah, 401k.
Yeah.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media. Have you seen these with like the man on the street where like a guy will ask a girl, how much does your partner need to make for you to date him? And he's like, oh, she's like $500,000 and, you know, to take me out on a date, which is like, I mean, if those are your standards, I assume they're doing this for views. I don't think that's a realistic standard.
I mean, you don't know.
I don't know I don't have friends who their men are making that amount of money.
A year.
Yeah, $500,000 a year. That's definitely 1%.
And what are they doing if they are?
Right. But does it matter do you think it should matter what type of job somebody has?
I think you bring up a great question. I think that it depends on, like you said, the expectations, right? You know, especially depending on where you're at in your life. If you're at a big age of 30 plus, your occupation does matter in the sense of you should be pulling some income to pay rent.
Yeah.
Rent is always due,
Yeah.
You know, if you have a car or any type of expenses, liabilities, you got to make sure that you cover those. But like, as far as the type of job it is, or is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, I think people put salary on it, but here, I'm a comedian. So if I'm gonna be in a relationship with somebody, I would like her to have health insurance.
That's
so
number one.
If one day we get married, I could potentially have her
jump
health
on
insurance.
hers. That's
because
probably one of the.
You're not gonna get in mine.
No, because you don't.
I don't have it.
Yeah. That's definitely a good.
So that is something that I'm looking for. I don't think it matters the job. Not every dude could deal with a woman's job though.
Please expound. I think we're hitting the meat and potatoes of the conversation.
And you know, some of these men will meet you at your job, then you'll go on a date with them. You'll go on 2 dates and they want you to quit your job.
Which is crazy. And big shout out to all the strippers out there. The stripper pancake tour coming soon. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's not easy for them because I get it. You know how they say that a lot of times they tell us that women have a thing where they want to fix men. I think some men want to fix women. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right.
They like to take on a project.
Yeah, like
not me.
No, I mean, I outsource IKEA. I outsource Home Depot. I ain't taking on no projects. Come as you are.
I ain't building. You better come assembled.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
Did you catch that, yo? Because can you do that one more time? That might be the trademark. What is it?
I missed it. It was in the moment. I felt it.
Damn it.
I felt it, and it's gone now.
I was a producer.
Now it's so funny. Like I meet people out now, you know, on the streets in the comedy world. People, you ask them what they do. It's not like back in the day you used to ask somebody what they did. They're like, oh, I work at this store. I work in this factory. I'm a dentist. Now you're like, oh, what do you do? They're like, oh, I sell photos of this or photos of that, or I work for this company, or I sell sex toys, or I'm a vibrator influencer. It's just like jobs that we got to get accustomed to.
Very unique.
Not a lot of people are used to it. I met a girl actually once. We were talking and we were like, I was like, oh, what do you do? And she was like, she sold sex toys, which on the surface sounds like, oh, all right, exciting, but you know, you don't want to compete with somebody who knows everything about sex toys.
Literally everything.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You know, if sex toys are a microcosm of the technology world, they probably got Bluetooth sex toys and 360 sex toys with the headset and everything like that. So she's probably a tech entrepreneur.
A headset, yeah. This is next level stuff.
But
I think it's important to be on the same page with your partner.
Yes, absolutely.
On their job.
Absolutely.
If you hate your partner's job, what they do every day, where's this going?
And not only do they do it every day, they're also paying the bills, their share of the bills. So like you got to pick and choose, right?
A lot of people want to reap the benefits of like a high paying job, but they don't like what some of the stuff it comes with.
The actual work.
Dealing with these also dealing with somebody who makes a lot of money is stuff that comes with that.
Its own animal too. Yeah. As far as your homegirl though, was she selling it wholesale? Like was she door to door? Was she like the Avon lady of sex toys? Like,
I think she was selling it. I think she had a brand deal with one of these sex companies, which by the way, I'm in the middle of working one out, so I ain't judging her, but
okay.
But I think she had a brand deal and she was like promoting it or selling it on Instagram or something. You know these women. Every time it's a new sex toy,
they got to hustle.
Yeah,
yeah. Big shout out to the ladies out there.
Which she was fine, but I was just like, damn. Like that was like, you know, she was like, it was like a good job. Living in New York, you sell sex toys for a living.
Does she have like private sex toy parties?
She actually does.
Does she have like a sex toy?
And one time, she asked me. This was like a couple years ago. She asked me to like promote. No, like to help her promote. Like come to this Jackrabbit.
Was it CO or CO or CU?
Yeah, and I was like, I can't promote this.
No,
you know,
no.
I'm a family. You know, I'm a family comic.
You're on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm making kids movies. Yeah, I can't be promoting.
It can't be on Hulu.
Anal beads all over my Instagram page, and she got mad.
Really?
Yeah, she got mad. She wanted that shout out.
That's crazy. Like, that's not understanding you.
Yeah. Now, do you think? Because some people. I feel like we're split evenly on this. Some people want somebody or don't mind dating somebody with a cool job.
Yeah.
Such as something in the entertainment industry, something where you're in the spotlight. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, some people don't want they want you a regular 9 to 5 where you home by 6 p.m. and you don't got to worry about But I find people are people, no matter what you do. Like, obviously, if you're a famous actor or famous comedian, obviously you're going to get a ton of more solicitations from the outside world. But I remember when I had a regular 9-to-5 job, they was smashing there too.
Everybody smashes.
Yeah, you know what's the number one
That's a t-shirt.
profession of smashers? Smash coworkers?
Hold on, let me guess.
All right.
People that work in offices.
That's a little vague, but can I give you the answer?
Well, all right. Is it an industry? You have a specific industry?
It's an industry, yeah.
Healthcare?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it really?
Really?
Yeah.
Like doctors?
Yeah, doctors and stuff.
Nurses and stuff?
Yeah,
really?
They be smashing.
They get frisky?
Yeah, doctors. I don't know what it is about medical school make you horny.
I think it's the sleep deprivation.
Yeah, I think it's like reading all those, operating, opening people up. It just make you want to have sex.
Yeah, definitely.
So
they was the ones with masks first before COVID.
You know what's second?
Farmers.
I guess finance.
No.
Okay.
Airport workers.
No. Police officers.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Because you're with your partner the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I might be making all of this up. So, but I think I'm not.
Either way.
But either way, just whatever. Don't Google it.
Nah, we're right.
Don't be that person that Googles the statistics. Well, I researched this and it turns out. Just take it.
Yeah.
What are facts anyways?
Facts.
They slow you down, to be honest.
Honestly.
I was having a conversation with my dad yesterday and we were talking about like...
Shout out.
Yeah, we were talking about like... I was like, everyone just has their own facts. Like literally everyone just has their own facts.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you say something and somebody will tell you, nope, that's wrong, and show you a bunch of pages that say they're right.
Like you can't upload to the internet.
Yeah, that's where we are.
There.
So how do you feel about a lady having a job? Would you rather be in a normal field? Do you want her to be in entertainment, stripping, selling vagina pics on OnlyFans? What do you want?
I feel like whatever makes her happy.
Not whatever makes her happy.
I think that, it just depends on the level of the relationship, honestly. Like, if we just met and, you on OnlyFans or whatever, who am I to come in and be like, no, you got to cut down your $250,000, $300,000 a year revenue selling feet or selling more, right? I can't come in there. But like, I don't know if you saw, I think it was an NBA player and he was married to a former adult star and like.
Who was this?
I can't remember his name. He was the number one pick in like the 95 draft. I can't remember his name, but basically.
Oh, she started the OnlyFans?
Yeah,
I think that was Joe Smith.
Yeah, Joe Smith. And she went back and she was just like, I got to do what I got to do. Like, because I guess money was slowing up.
She started at OnlyFans,
Yeah,
right?
she went back to OnlyFans, but at the same time,
I don't know if I believe that.
He knew how he met her.
I think they were trolling. I think that was a publicity thing. Yeah, I think that was a publicity thing.
They got me.
Every time, because I think they have something coming out. Anytime you see anybody, celebrity in the headline with something coming out,
it's a rollout.
It's fake.
It's a rollout.
That's just the business that it is.
It's
Every
definitely
time you
a
have
rollout.
something coming out, they're like, all right, maybe you should start a beef with somebody. Accuse somebody of something. Get into the zeitgeist.
Leak a sex tape.
Yeah. I've been trying to. Nobody wants to buy it though. And YouTube demonetized me.
They took the money off. Damn.
So,
they hating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is there like guys? I feel like guys don't care this so much. But do you think you want your lady to make a certain amount of money, or are you good?
I have to agree with you 1,000%. I don't think like guys really are into that. You know? Yeah.
I do. I still think you're even. Well, it depends how much money you got, but I do think both people should work.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound controversial.
No, but not.
But I think women should work.
And not because of.
Marty, you don't like that?
I said nothing.
Oh,
I don't want to impose on your thought, but I think it's also because like you need something to do. Have you ever met like stay-at-home moms? After a while, they go crazy because it's just like I can't take these kids no more.
Also, finding a stay-at-home mom today, like a good one, it ain't easy.
It's not easy.
That's you got to go on LinkedIn. You got to hire a recruiter.
Yeah.
I mean, now these women want to stay at home, but they don't want to do that stay-at-home work. They just want to be at home on Instagram, watching reels, listening to the Adulthood podcast.
Big shout out.
They don't want to do nothing.
Is there a recruiting service for that?
For stay-at-home moms? They don't make them how they used to. You used to have to like a good stay-at-home, a good homemaker, let's call them. You gotta you gotta instill that from birth. That's like making an athlete. They gotta start. If you want to make a basketball player, he gotta start dribbling a ball at 3 years old.
Basically,
same thing with a homemaker. Like 3 years old, they gotta be like organizing,
nurturing. Like playing,
organizing the nursery,
playing house.
Doing things that they do.
Big shout out to all the parents. I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you have any young people in your sphere, like nieces and nephews or anything like that.
Youngins.
But big shout out to all the parents that get toys that are like actual household items, like the ironing board and like the stove, and like shout out to my cousin. He got his son basically like practicing mowing the lawn, and the son is just happy. He's having a great time.
See, that's good because he's making like a good husband. He's creating a husband
from jump.
Yeah, right? I think we need to get more kids into manual labor.
I think so
definitely
too.
think as a society we've kind of nurturing these kids too much with like mental health.
I think so,
and I think that we need to go back to like
farming.
You're 6 years old, maybe you get a part-time job. After first grade.
Like
that's how we were raised.
Child labor laws need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean China got it right. I think
they figured that shit out. Yeah.
Shout out to China. Yeah, Marty?
You grew up in the city. What manual labor did you do?
Living in the city.
Well, I grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
That's like the suburbs.
Okay.
Depends on what part.
Still.
I used to like sweep.
That's not manual labor.
I remember sweeping the
to today's kids.
The driveway. I had a driveway. I used to sweep.
That's not manual labor.
Yeah, I used to paint. I would paint the house. What else? My dad had a garden I used to have to tend to. Stuff like that.
Okay. My mom pulled me out of school in 5th grade and made me build a cabin with her.
See, and you turned out great.
This is what we're talking about.
This is what I'm saying.
Shout out. Does your mom have like a daycare or something? Like, what's up?
No, I couldn't read in 5th grade.
Who needs to read in 5th grade?
You couldn't read in 5th grade?
She realized she pulled me out of school and taught me to read, made me build a cabin.
So she taught
Why
you
you
how
couldn't
to read
in 5th grade?
I was really dyslexic and nobody noticed. Like they didn't, like I memorized the books. Like people would read them to me and I'd memorize them. And then I'd like they'd be like, okay, read. And I'd pull out the same 5 books I memorized. And then my mom noticed I was turning the pages and I wasn't aligning the words on the pages with the words I was saying.
So look, I only see silver linings. Number one, basically you're saying you have the memory of a genius. That's number one, right? If you're memorizing 4 or 5 books at 10, 9, right? That's number one. Number two, you know how to build cabins. How many New Yorkers know how to build cabins? 0.
I could build a cabin.
And sweeping isn't manual
Hold
labor.
on. Number 3, your mom recognized the deficiency and said, nah, I'm going to teach you how to read. So you know how to read and build cabins? What's the problem?
Well, it's manual labor to me.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think Ian did manual. I don't think that counts.
Why not?
Ugh.
Because it's like sweeping a driveway.
Are
in
you
the
labor
suburbs.
shaming?
I think you are labor shaming.
I'm not. Like sweeping a driveway and painting like in the suburbs.
I think you're
doesn't count.
I think you're questioning my masculinity.
You're saying that,
and I think this is very
everybody
problematic.
needs to do manual labor, and like people do that stuff now.
Who does?
Everyone
Kids?
sweeps and
No,
paints.
Not
and
kids.
does things.
Not kids.
I was painting the house when I was 3.
Like before you knew how to ride a bike, you were painting the house.
I already knew how to ride a
tall.
bike at 3.
This tall. When did you learn how to ride a bike?
2.5.
I don't know if I believe that, but okay. Give me a photo. Give me a photo and we'll put it up in the
I'll
episode.
get you a video of me wheeling a bike
Okay.
at 2.5 years old.
Give me a video of you on a bike at 2.5 years old. We'll put it right behind your head.
And we gotta send it to Johan too, not for real, yeah.
I'll look for it.
That was my only interruption, guys. That made me laugh.
Don't take it out.
What? That you don't think I do manual labor?
The manual labor.
One time this girl, I was telling this girl that I needed to do something, like something easy, like at my house, I needed to put something up. And she was like, oh, why don't you, she was like, you should hire a man to do it. And I was like, she's like, what do you mean?
Wait, what?
She's like, yeah, you don't know how to do that. And I was like, you just met me.
Just
What do you-
blatantly jumping
she
out
was
the
like,
window.
She was like, I
Wow.
can tell. That's not your thing. You're not a. You
You're
don't
not
think
handy
I
around the
could
house?
drill a. You don't think I could put up a picture in my house? Just like, just hire somebody.
The level. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't care. Some Marty, do you think? Can I ask you this? Do you think that as the resident lady, gentle lady, of the pod.
Shout out to the
Like to be called
GLs.
that from now on.
Yeah, the GLs. Do you think that the person you date has to make a minimum income?
I don't think they have to make a minimum income. I think it's harder to date someone with a cool job, like to date someone seriously with a cool job than it is to date someone casually. Like it's really fun to date someone casually who has a cool job.
That is the best.
It's miserable to date them seriously
Yeah.
if they have a cool job.
You ever date someone with a cool job?
Yeah, I have. But I think that once you date somebody seriously, you're like, then like their cool job you realize is like a huge part of their identity.
Oh man.
And then it like eclipses, like not to be like, Ian, this is, like you haven't made the HBO thing and the Fallon 3 times, like an identity thing.
Yeah.
But like I feel like
I almost don't even talk
Hold
about
on,
it.
you were in Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, I almost
you
don't
were
even
on
like to
Jimmy
talk about
I'm
it.
sorry, I didn't mean to spill it.
Wow.
We're keeping it secret.
No, I mean this is the realistic. This is like the realest thing you ever said. This is like the story of my life where like casual dating seems so
Great.
fun, and then they see what it takes to maintain the cool job, and they're like, "Oh, this is like your entire life. Like you're completely." And it's like a lot of times they're like, "Oh, I'm not." I think in relationships, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're supposed to put your partner first, right?
No, I think you're supposed to put yourself first, but you're supposed to I think you should form a partnership where you care about that person and you're invested in them. But I think it would just fail if you don't put yourself first.
I don't support the put yourself first people.
Okay. I put myself first.
I'd like to break the fifth wall here and feel like this went a little too serious. So,
Why?
Because it was just like, where's the funny? There's no funny in here. You're like being all emotional, vulnerable and shit. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting uncomfortable. Because it's true. Because it's so true. Like nobody knows how much work goes into being fun.
No. I mean, I seriously just don't think you should put the put yourself first people. I think they're like selfish people.
But you don't think that you would put yourself... I've heard you say you would put people on par with your career. Like you put your career above everything else. So if you love somebody enough to put them on par with your career, that's like a big deal to you, right?
Yeah.
To do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you would never rank somebody necessarily above who you want to be as a person. Like who you want to be as a person is like your, the Fallon and the thing. And
why do you keep bringing that up? I'm not talking about Fallon. I'm not mentioning Jimmy Fallon. I'm not mentioning. Why do you keep tying that to my identity?
You tie it to your identity. I don't know, guys. This is why I shouldn't talk.
If I meet a girl who's like, "Hey, I put myself first," I'm like, "All right."
But then they take care of themselves. I feel like then it's like
those put yourself first women are the worst.
I'm the most
They're the
important
worst.
person to myself.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. You sound like a blast.
To yourself. But like, I feel like, you know what, Ian? Yeah, I'm sure it'd be very fun to date for the first like 5.
I feel like we're finally, not finally, but I feel like in the last year or so, we're getting the other side of what happens when you like go to therapy and get centered and become grounded. Like it was painted like it was all positive, like there was no negatives to that. And now there's the backlash of like, oh, you're losing this thing of it though, right? So it's like, yeah, you're grounded, you're in therapy, you're working on yourself, you're healing. But now you're no fun. What happened to the fun? Sure, crazy women who scratch up your car, break your windows,
your corneas,
and burn down your bedroom are not good. But
scratch your corneas.
No one's arguing that they're not fun.
Yeah. You have to have a real 360 view of things.
Right.
As the whole person. Like, all right, like they might be a little bit crazy, like, but a little crazy never hurt all the time.
Yes. And I'm obviously this podcast is therapy, so I'm not going to say I'm against therapy. But when you go too deep down that road, you're no longer fun.
You're no longer the person who, stays out all night and drinks at the bar until 7 a.m.
I've been to therapy. I speak to some of these. I had to stop going to therapy because I wasn't fun anymore.
You were losing yourself.
I was just becoming perfect. And that was no fun.
No, nobody likes that.
No. I was losing toxic traits and I feel like toxic traits are making a comeback.
And some toxic traits are necessary.
I think women are finally sitting down and being like, "Oh no, I need a little bit of this,
Just a little bit.
It's like salt.
Yeah, just
Too much, you get hypertension, but a little bit adds seasoning to your life.
And if you don't have any, there's no flavor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't deny that.
You don't
measure
Oh,
toxicity.
I thought I would get back. I thought I would get some back
good.
talk from that, but
No, I like chaos.
yeah.
What do you like about chaos?
My therapist is so done with me.
Really?
Hey, Jenna.
That's a sign of
Can you
a
say your
fun
therapist's
person.
name out there like that?
Yeah, why not? My
Jenna doesn't listen to this.
Are you sure?
You don't know
She
who's.
doesn't
We're
listen
big
to
in the therapy scene.
I've seen
That's just the mark of like a good person. If your therapist is tired of you, that means you won. Like you beat
You
your
beat
therapist.
your therapist.
Not that it's a one-on-one competition, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it is.
And they're making a living out of it.
And
You still won.
you basically have said that their thought process is not efficient enough to deal with yours.
It isn't.
Boom.
I don't think she doesn't listen to this.
You beat her.
I don't think she's on my level at all.
You learned to read in 5th grade, so obviously she's not. But you're obviously doing way better than she is.
Great. Okay, now I read.
You were memorizing books till you were
I read
12.
a book a week now. Okay, I'm good. I'm just making sure it's still there.
But when you're looking for a guy or a partner or whatever, do you ever do you think somebody who's like super therapied out, is that good or is that bad?
I think it's a good thing when guys go to therapy. I think it's like I'm a little skeptical of it when this is so terrible to say, but when I date girls and they have gone to a lot of therapy.
Yes.
Then I'm like if they go to
That's-
therapy and they go once a week and they've gone for like a year, I'm like, okay,
Yes,
great. Like you're
same.
bettering yourself, whatever.
But if their therapist is on like speed dial, like for every situation,
They overanalyze everything.
Everything.
Every situation's overanalyzed. Everything is overthought. Everything is like, what do you mean by that?
And
You're
then
like,
they
what
try to-
do you mean what I
and
mean
they try
by
to
that?
force it on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is a toxic trait. Everything is gaslighting. Mercury's all in retrograde.
Retrograde,
Every episode
always.
title that we had is the
Always.
problem with over-therapied
Over
women.
therapy.
If you started therapy at 10 and you never stopped through your 20s, I'm like, like that's
I would argue that I think the born again therapies are the worst. The born again therapy goers, the ones that were toxic their whole life and now they found therapy 3 years ago and have devoted their life to it, and they've gone too far on the thing. Because I think, and I said this to my therapist before. I think too much therapy, I feel like, takes the person out of you. I think because therapy teaches you not to react, almost not to get, it's almost like you lose that thing that makes you a person. And all of this is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
Okay.
Like the other day, I told her, we were on the phone and I was like, you know how sometimes you do things and then you just realize that you have amazing timing just in life, but it's going to get you killed someday. And she just took a really deep breath. And then I heard her exhale and I was like, I'm your least favorite call of the week. Huh?
But
I was like, you're so afraid of
I
what's
think you
gonna
need to
come
have a
next.
therapist that also has gone through actual life, because I understand exactly what you're saying, where sometimes you do have to risk the dice a little bit. You can't just be so measured all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes and I think what actual therapy, not actual therapy, but actual adulthood or actual growth and development is that you just have to measure, and you might have to bleep this out, but you have to measure your fuck it button. Usually I would say fuck it in this situation, but I'm not going to, versus nah, fuck it.
I'm pro fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other week, my dryer smelled really weird and it smelled like it was on fire and I had to leave and it smelled like fire.
Okay, hold
And
on.
I was-
Hair dryer or dryer for
Dryer,
clothes?
clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
it
you have an
smelled-
in-house unit?
And
She got
money.
it smelled like it was on fire. And instead of checking it before I walked out the door, I bought renter's insurance on the Uber to where I was going. And I just said, if it's on fire when I get home, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So you're saying that therapy helped you with that?
When I told Jenna that, she questioned, she was like, that's bad decision making.
Yeah, I mean, it's borderline arson and insurance fraud, but
Like,
you did what you had to do.
it's that energy? I should stop talking. You guys keep going.
Incriminating.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure.
It didn't burn down. The arrow was still standing.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Yeah, good shout out to the thing not
Yeah.
burning down. But
All right. and
yeah,
the
you
insurance,
yes and the fire.
and you did sort of the right thing by
Yeah.
getting the insurance,
Yeah.
right? So
And I don't.
silver lining.
I gotta say, look, disclaimer. I do want a well-grounded girl who has been to therapy.
Shout out.
But I'm just saying that too much of it turns you into this. Quite frankly, you're just annoying.
Caricature.
You're just
A
annoying.
square?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Johan.
Yeah.
All right.
Even though we support it, we want it. Mental health is important. But I know. Like you go too much. Like a therapist, I have you like abandoning your family, being like they're toxic. I don't need them. They also, and it's like, yeah, they are toxic. They have these things, and it's probably a conversation you should have. But it's your family.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Who else you gonna call when you need to move?
Yeah, your family are inherently annoying.
It comes with the territory.
That's what a family is.
You didn't choose.
They're annoying.
Yeah.
You're gonna cut them off?
No.
I got a friend which that was her thing. Like she was all therapied out everywhere. Anytime it was any issue, she just cut people off. I'm like, well, this is no way to live.
Wouldn't a therapist call that avoidance?
Yeah, I think avoiding dismissive, some nonsense. I'm not a doctor, but
Wait, you're not?
not technically.
Okay.
But yeah, she would just like literally like you would get into like a little squirrel.
You said that's
that
a
a word?
Sagittarius trait?
Like a Sagittarius moon. Sorry.
They just take off? I'm sorry.
When is Sagittarius? When is that?
That's December to January?
That's
No, that's
it's-
Capricorn.
it's-
November.
No, January on is Capricorn. It's November
To December. Yeah.
Oh,
So they just take off.
Sagittarius moods, yeah.
What about Sagittarius sun?
I feel like your moon rules your emotion. I can stop talking.
yeah,
guys.
please. I think that I don't cut people. Like I'm not like the person that's announcing that I'm cutting you off. I just won't.
You don't
like,
do the
No,
cutoff
I
announce?
feel like that. What's the announcement?
You gotta do the cutoff rollout.
I hate
Come
the
on,
announcement.
player. Come on.
I hate the
You know,
announcement.
but like, is it text or online? Like,
It's
which
nothing.
one do you hate?
You know what I say? I say we're good. But you know what? We're not. Good. That's the trick. We're not good.
That's the mental jujitsu.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Mr. Miyagi.
But for all intents and purposes, we're good.
But we're not.
No, we're
But
not.
they don't know.
They don't know that.
Gaddy.
They know. They know.
But
they
can
can't.
feel it.
They don't know.
They can't. You kill them with kindness.
They're like, but he says we're good, and I'm like,
ah.
we're good. You're great. It's
Now,
great. Everything is great.
In the we're good, but we really ain't good. Do you just stop responding to texting or like?
Now I have trouble.
What's the protocol?
I'm not ignore. I can't ignore people. I get
Okay.
anxiety from ignoring.
Okay.
So unless you really do some
foul.
some clown
Yeah.
shit, I can't. I don't just ignore you. I don't I don't ghost people. I don't ignore you. I'll give you an answer. But my thing is like, if you hit me, I'll give you an answer. But like, if we had a falling out, you can't hit me up expecting me to be cool like how I was cool. Like they might be like, oh, why you not joking around? Why you not being funny? Why you not? And I'm like, cause we not cool. Like I'm not cool with you.
I'm gonna dive into some uncharted territory right
Dive
here.
in.
But
Pause.
building off of that topic, I feel like that's why a lot of people struggle like in the corporate world.
Why is that?
Where like, you know, you might have a superior, your boss or whatever, like chew you out and then the next second try to pretend to be cool with you. And it's just like, hold on, like the fuck, you got me fucked up. You can't just like disrespect me inadvertently or advertently and then just pretend like it didn't happen 30 seconds ago and then ask me if you want to get dumplings for lunch. Like, no.
I mean, I do want dumplings for
but
lunch,
not
but
with
I'm
you.
still mad about what happened.
Yeah.
Marty, what kind of, do you cut people off? What are you doing?
She chases
I
the
get
reins in
dumped.
Africa.
No, I know. I don't just mean a relationship. I don't mean a relationship. I mean like even like a friend, like somebody who's like becoming too taxing on you, too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do it in a really bad way that doesn't ever like work out for me.
Yeah, which
Where,
way is
like,
that?
Which way is that?
I'll do it and then I'll like I'll like forget why I did it. Like I'll have a guppy memory about it. So I'll do it and I'll be like,
What happened to that memory that memorized all those books?
Mm.
it has a lifespan of exactly 6 months.
She learned how to read.
Like
Yeah.
after 6 months, my brain's like, they weren't that
So you cut
bad.
people off and then forget why you cut them off?
And I'll forget why I cut them off. And then the people around me will be like, nah, you know, remember that one time that they like burned your stuff and you're like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that sucked.
So you need a cutoff app. You need an app that
So-
reminds you.
I think we should start this app. I
Yeah.
think we should start an app where we cut people off for you.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
we,
And we
like
remind
you give
you.
us the people who it is.
Uh-huh.
We'll show up at their job and be. You know how you serve people? Like somebody like you've been served.
Yeah.
We'll go there. We'll knock on the door. Like, is Marty here? You like? Are you Marty? You like? You Marty? Marty.
You've been cut off.
They no longer. Yeah, you're cut off. They no
or
longer fuck
like,
with you.
yeah, like Marty's not fucking with you no more.
Yeah, that's it. And then you be like, but what did the listen?
That-
This is
legally
it.
binding.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
it. Don't reach out. You're
We
cut
gotta,
off.
we gotta make sure nobody steals our shit.
I want
Like,
people to steal it.
Did you incorporate this?
I want people to steal it.
All right.
I want people to become billionaires. I don't need the money.
Selfless.
I just off the strength of knowing that I put it out there and I gave back. I'm like a
everybody-
philanthropist.
And you basically are.
Like I just want to give away the stuff.
You can't spell philanthropy without Ian.
Yeah, we put up we have all these like great merch ideas. We don't make none of it.
We
We're
should
just
start doing
givers.
that.
Eh.
It's more fun for you to just have it.
Just give it. Just
Yeah,
give abundance.
I just like to give back. The adulterers have been so good to me.
They definitely have. Big shout out to the adulterers out there.
They
Big shout out
just-
to Rosie in Texas.
They deserve these things.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Rosie. Shout out to Rosie.
Yeah, shout out Rosie. Shout out Brandon.
Let me see if we have any more
We're in
questions.
the state of flow. It's just been in the state of flow this whole time.
We would talk about the cool jobs. We
What
talk about
counts
getting
as a
job.
cool job? Is it just entertainment?
No, sports,
Sports.
media.
Disney World,
Yeah.
Universal Studios.
Like one of my friends dated a girl who was a producer at Atlantic Records,
Mhm.
which was like real fun for the first like 4 months and real shitty for the last like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's just
What
no
happened?
time.
Let's just put everything out here on this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if your
Redacted?
job as a producer at Atlantic Records, like everything revolves around that. So like once you get serious with that person, like shit gets like way harder because you're like, wow, everyone thinks about them, and then I don't even know what it's like marrying that person.
When was the last time you went on a job interview?
2022 February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In person or Zoom? Because
Zoom, big Zoom, big Zoom. Yeah.
Is that better, or you think in person?
I'm actually better in person. Like Zoom, you can't really get the context, you can't really get the energy, and depending on your lighting and the camera and the internet connection versus in person, it's just like, oh, okay. Like, you throw out a subtle joke and you're like, oh, if they laugh, then it's like, okay, I got this person versus just like straight faces. It's just like, okay. But you know what's funny? On all of my interviews, the ones where I felt like I got it, I didn't get.
That's
And
how
the-
auditions are.
Yeah, and the ones where I felt like I totally dropped the bomb, those were the jobs that I got. And it's only because like I didn't care. It was just like, yo, you give me the job or you don't. And those are the ones where I actually did better on.
I haven't been on a job interview in over
10?
10 years. Yeah, probably like 12 years. I've been on auditions and
Yeah.
I've had like general meetings where it's not an interview, but you gotta like meet with like an executive and impress them.
Yeah.
And woo them. But that's kind of just more conversation. I don't
Yeah.
even know like, when was the last time you went on an interview, Marty?
Like a year ago, probably this one.
What kind of questions are they asking at these things?
I know.
I like out Brian and Laura for what they asked.
Oh, is
I
that?
made Brian laugh. I think that's why he.
That's key.
They
Yeah,
hired
that's
me.
definitely key.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Brian and Laura.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. I did like the interviews for like big tech, and like those are really funny.
Why?
Those are just who can.
They try to
outwork-
be too cool. They try to be cool, right?
What, in tech?
Like
Tech.
tech, yeah. Tech
Like
has
big
tech
tech.
wants to be cool.
like the big five.
Uh-huh.
Like Google.
Google, Twitter,
OnlyFans.
TikTok,
What do they try to
Instagram.
do? That's definitely
Pornhub.
number one. And
Yeah.
number two.
They
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of like at a certain point in one of the conversations I remember thinking, you don't know what we're talking about and I don't know what we're talking about. And
But
we
we're
lost
just
the
talking.
conversation so long ago. We're literally just saying big words back and forth to each other and trying to come up with more syllables than the last person. That's all we're doing.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
sounds fun.
I had they asked they'll ask me like, this is the closest I'll get to like an interview question, like why do you think you'll be good for this? And it's like, what? Like that's like Why do I think I'll be good for this? I don't. Y'all paying, and I need the money.
And I'm here.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be good for this. Why would I be good for this?
Don't overcomplicate things, right?
Why would I be good for this? Like, you've seen my resume.
So you know.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting.
Right. You know exactly. Like, if those things don't, then that's it.
That's almost like interviewing for DJ gigs or like, you know, especially like private events where people are like, you know, I understand if they want to hear a sample of a mix, right?
Sure.
But at this point, like, I'm getting recommended from somebody or some. So like, there's a prerequisite before you come and reach out to me, right? So now it's like, how long have you been DJing for and blah, 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 and what's your style? It's just like...
What's my style? People ask me that about comedy. What's your style? What's my style?
Do you know how long I've been doing this?
That's what I was going to mention. Like, in the beginning, when I would go on... And again, this is not with random people. It's with people who are in the business or the industry. So you assume that they would have like... Before, I used to go, they didn't know me at all, right? When I was early on, they did not know me. They did not know my work. But now, if I'm meeting with you, it's like, if you're taking time out your schedule, I'm not asking to meet with anyone.
You kind of look like that guy that was on Jimmy Fallon.
So, yeah. So anybody meeting with me, they requested it. So how you request to meet with me and have not watched any of my stuff?
Absurd.
Like, you request to meet with me and you're like, so? And I'm like, so? And it's just silent. It's just like...
Awkward.
Where you from? What do you mean where I'm from? I don't want to go back on another interview.
That's the awkward turtle. And you shouldn't. You should just start producing for yourself.
I think vote for me and there will be no more interviews.
24?
Yeah, it'll be...
Are you running?
2025.
25?
Yeah, it'll be no more interviews. It'll be like, you send a resume, you get the job or you don't.
What's the platform?
Outlaw interviews.
What platform are you running on? Like,
I'm still working that out.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get those things together.
More liberal? Or
I know it's definitely no
centrist?
more interviews.
Okay.
No kids on airplanes.
That's number one. We have to lead with that one.
Yeah, no kids. Minimum 12 to be on an airplane, and you gotta be rational, right? No irrational kids.
Manual labor.
Yeah, for kids, definitely. Kids work.
They have to go to work at 6.
Yeah,
all right.
Not nothing crazy, but just build a cabin like Marty did.
Okay, so 10.
And the wedding thing, that was one of our biggest thing. Where if I go to your wedding and you get divorced, the people at the wedding deserve half your stuff.
Yeah, you should have like a divorce fund.
Yeah, the people that went to your wedding split out your estate.
Your estate. Yeah, something like that. Something like. Basically like divorce insurance.
It's like a waste of time tax.
If you couple it together.
It's a tax for wasting people's time. That's another one. Waste of time tax. You waste people's time, you're going to be taxed on it.
Can you clip that up? That's the clip right there. That might be the one that we got to put to CNN and everything for 2025. He and Larry 25. Am I your what is it?
We'll work on that, but you're definitely in the running.
I'm there.
Yeah, you're definitely.
I can run the campaign.
Yeah. We'll find a thing for you.
Yeah.
Volume 34, baby.
We did it.
December. For the rest of the month, we're gonna be having guests. We're gonna bring guests in here. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be breaking down adulting with a guest. I hope you guys like it. Thank you guys for listening, subscribing, doing all that good stuff.
Yep.
I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to ride this out for the rest of the holiday season. Keep tuning in every Monday, baby.
Thank you guys.
Podcast.
I'm Ian Lara.
Later. I'm APM.